As the U.S. population ages, the need for patient and family-focused home-based care near the end of life will only grow. Hospice and palliative care providers are ready to help, but the myths and barriers surrounding the care must be overcome. Here to explain more is Anita Brikman from the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization. Welcome.
It's great
to be here. So many people have heard of hospice, but we don't really know what it is. Tell us what it is.
Okay, hospice is not necessarily a place. They think it's a place you have to go. The vast majority of hospice care is right in a person's own home. It's a team of people that come in and take care of a person, alleviating suffering, dealing with psychosocial needs. You're talking about a hospice physician, a nurse, a social worker, a chaplain, therapist. It's a whole team approach that supports the family as the primary caregivers for a loved one at the end of life. Most people say, I don't want to die in a hospital, you know, hooked up to machines. I want to be at home. Hospice lets people do that, but gives the families the support they need, because that's not an easy journey. We know that.
And you have a new campaign that's happening right now, which actually focuses on real people who have used hospice care. So tell me about that.
Absolutely. No actors, no ad slicks. It's called Moments of Life, made possible by hospice. And all these stories live on our website, momentsoflife.org. And they are literally, this is one of our public service announcements. All real people, including that gentleman we just saw there who is right here in Washington, D.C., who are experiencing hospice care. You know, we want to show people it's not just brink of death. You're not just lying in a bed waiting to die. Hospice can help make moments like this possible for people, even though they're facing a life-limiting illness. And a lot of people don't know about it until way too late. They may be in an intensive care unit before someone even brings it up. Hospice can be there for weeks or months for a person, stabilize them, and give them more moments like that.
And we always talk about having those uncomfortable conversations with family members before you get to these situations. So how would you recommend to a family member to open this conversation? You
know, it's funny. A lot of times it's sometimes the younger people in the family who think, oh, I can't talk to mom about this. Well, you know what? Mom may want to say, this is what I want at this period. I know my grandmother had her whole funeral laid out and was telling us exactly which hymns and what she wanted. But I think even at a family dinner or if a gathering at the holidays, no, you don't want to be morose, but you want to say, hey, you know what? We should all know what each other wants. And just as importantly, so let's say something really tragic happens. Who speaks for you? Who knows what you want? If there is a situation where you can't communicate that in a hospital, nobody wants that. So if a family can have the conversation ahead, have advanced directives, living wills filled out, you know what, you may alleviate a lot of stress and suffering for your family members. And just bringing up the conversation and say, let's all just know what it is we want.
Right. Now let's talk about how to pay for this. Hospice is for-profit, non-profit, a combination. What should we be looking for?
Well, hospice is paid for by a Medicare benefit and insurance companies. People do not need to worry about paying for hospice. This is not something that is beyond their means. And whether a hospice program is non-profit or for-profit, they work under the same Medicare standards and rules. So it works the same way. They deliver that same standard of care, and families are not having to pay extra because of the tax status of a program.
What kind of illnesses do people mostly come into hospice dealing with? I think we all think cancer mostly.
It used to be the vast majority were cancer. It has changed so much because we now have, you know, with our aging population, a person may have heart issues. Maybe they're dealing with diabetes. There can be issues with renal failure. Also, hospices are helping a lot more people with dementia and Alzheimer's as our population ages. So it's a very mixed patient population, and different hospices sometimes specialize in different areas of patient care.
And you tell those stories in your Moments of Life campaign as well.
We do. We have that woman there, Hannibal Waith, had an end-stage heart problem. She did not want to go through open heart surgery at 93. Because why? So she was at home in Queens with her family for the holidays. That woman there, end-stage breast cancer, hospice helped her son get married in her hospital, in her hospice room. But yes, there is a wide variety. We also feature people with ALS, pediatric hospice, which is very hard, but it is such an important thing for families to know if their child is facing this critical illness.
Right. Now, you said a lot of people have this conversation when it's too late to have the conversation. So when is the right time to move into hospice?
Well, you know, it is the Medicare hospice benefit is in most cases designed to be about a 6-month benefit. What people don't realize is that that's there. Also, half of our patients are only in hospice for about a month. A third are there for only 7 days. And that way, you don't even have time for that whole hospice team to come in, stabilize, get the equipment you need. So our thought is bring bring up hospice or even palliative care. Palliative care is kind of a step up on the continuum.
Right.
Talk to your doctor about it. It's not giving up. It's just knowing that there is a continuum of services, and if you have a serious illness that at some point could become terminal, it's time to talk about hospice as an option whenever that comes.
Thank you so much for educating us about hospice and sharing these great stories with us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
More Let's Talk Live's coming up.